The story I picked up on was TV pundit and former England defender Alex Scott says she intends to continue as a football presenter despite receiving misogynistic comments. Apparently, whenever she's presenting football programs, she just gets loads of tweets from people going, "Why don't you stick to ironing and cooking?" And worse as well. I mean, she's had like kind of politicians saying that she needs elocution lessons. Have you heard some of the footballers talking? I mean, you ever heard Peter Beardsley? Come on.
I know him, Jim, from history.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't.
That's where all my references come from. It's the olden days.
I mean,
I was just going to say, I tweeted something the other day referring to the TV program Highway with Harry Seacombe, which just, I mean, he's been dead 35 years, surely.
Showing your age, Jimbo.
Oh, God, yeah, every day, every single day. But it's just that I couldn't believe that this stuff happens. I mean, I don't know if you two have ever had any kind of abuse. I bet, Sparky, you're in the public eye, aren't they? I bet for every lovely comment, every 100 lovely comments, there's one that really grates on you. Oh. And I've kind of had a couple as well, but it's just, you just wonder what gets into these people. What's it been like for you?
You know what? I think some people don't ever expect you to see it, although they are actually directly tweeting at this lady, right? So I don't know. It's horrible. Yeah. Guess what ones you remember? You could get all the praise in the world. Like, and sometimes we have some lovely messages into the show, like, especially through lockdown, like, the stresses of lockdown, but have your company on the radio has really helped us through.
Especially but then you do. Paul. Paul, a Sparky superfan in Canada.
Hey, yes, Paul. But, you do, like, when you do get them horrible comments, they are there. There was like that advert a while back. I always think about that, like, and it's people who struggle with spelling, and it's like there's like a little demon on their shoulder going like, "Yeah, you can't spell. Don't write that. Don't do that." Yeah. And it's that, because that actually at random times, those horrible negative thoughts, and I imagine that's happened to her too. She'll be just about to go live, and not the thought of this is going to be brilliant, and I'm going to do this confidently is going to come into her head. She's going to remember that horrible demon that sort of like popped into her Twitter feed that one time. And it's like, yeah, but it's a scary world. Some people are so good at dealing with it. With having thick skin, like a lot of celebrities you see online. Some of the things you just see being replied to just a lovely photo they've put up of their family or anything, and you just think, what is wrong with people? But
there's always they always find something, don't they? It's a weird mentality, and the scary thing is it's so many people as well. I mean, I know compared to the population of the world, it's not, but still, it's hundreds of people who are out there just scouring Twitter to pick up on anything and say something horrible.
Yeah, and I mean, this she's like. Why isn't she entitled to be a presenter on a football program because she's a woman and it's like it doesn't fit your normal or does like it's so
I don't
ancient.
How small must your dick be? If that is your problem, a woman talking about football,
she knows more than me. Like, come on.
There was I saw someone who commented when they were talking about when she got she does Football Focus, I think now, doesn't she? Yeah. And someone underneath had written, "Oh, okay, well then she ticks at least 2 boxes, doesn't she? So that's why she's in." And the thing is, it's like, yeah, she's a former footballer and a trained journalist, so yeah, she does tick 2 boxes.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Although we knew what you meant, and it's absolutely this horrible pettiness that you hear. It's just I don't understand that mentality. It'd just be much easier if you've got that much hate within you. Just leave the internet alone. People don't need that negativity, right?
No.
But you'll often find something that's funny is like I do this weird thing as well. Like I have to bring this person. Like if someone gives me any crap online, I look at their profile and I have to bring them down to a level in my mind. I won't reply to them, but I'll be looking and often these people on Twitter, you'll go to their page. And then you go 2 tweets down and they're slagging somebody else off. And you go another 2 tweets down and they're having a go at somebody else. And you find out that's when you realize the problem is with them and it's not with you. It's like,
yeah.
And these people, but I genuinely think they don't get how the internet works. I try and sympathize with them or empathize with them and go like, no, you're that stupid. You're writing that publicly. so people can see what a sour, twisted bitch you are. Like it's
Yeah, I guess, is it the equivalent of back in the olden days when you were on the sofa and your dad was watching telly and slagging off all the people on the TV?
look at
and
the state of him. Like
they couldn't hear it through the screen. You know, oh, you can't tell whether they're boys or girls nowadays. Not that my dad ever said that.
It's libelous, Jim, and you're old man. Leave it.
Can you libel your dad? I suppose you can, yeah. Please don't sue.
He will. But no,
especially if
right.
you call him Sue.
Is it opinion that would have just been passed around in a conversation at home before, which people take a step further and whack online?
Yeah, it must be quite lonely people, mustn't it? They haven't got anyone at home that they can they can spout their bile to.
Yeah, it's no one with a joyful life, is it? I don't think.
Because again, they're just trying to bring you down to their level. They're trying to belittle because, like you say, these guys can't deal with the fact that a woman knows more about football than them and is more connected to the football world than they will ever be, and that hurts them. Like, ridiculous, isn't it?
Do you know what though? I'm a bit sad, just for this, for the sake of this conversation, that we haven't got anyone on supporting trolls. Like,
where is he? Where is he actually going?
Like we need a bit of yin and yang, don't we?
We are live streaming, so if there is a troll out there, I think if there was a troll out there, we'd have heard already. I'd be fascinated in a way to talk to them. I'm not sure, but this sort of thing that really scares me about when my kids want social media and there are people who are going to be out there. Is there any chance by that time we'll have just sorted it out and everyone will be kind to each other?
I do think we're going to have to go past the point where everybody realizes, like, oh yeah. I was a real big fan of those people who suddenly, anyone who was trolling publicly, I think it was when the England game was on, it was a key point when we was at the Euros last, was it World Cup? What was it last? It's World Cup this year, so it was Euros. And people were, when the racist guys who were kicking off at the football, they were screenshotting it and then emailing it to their boss. Like, that is the ultimate way to take these idiots down, because it's the internet is still the real world, you idiot. Like, and anything you write on there still can be seen by anyone. So I loved that little spout of people doing that to people, like stitching them up, because that's what you deserve.
Yeah, it's interesting. It takes a sort of type of person to take them on. I interviewed, his name's Simon. I can't remember his surname. Man Behaving Dadly, who is a well-known campaigner. He's the bloke who raised money to get a lifeboat named after Nigel Farage, and and he does these things every so often, and he is like a tireless campaigner for that sort of thing. And he absolutely revels in the trolls because he gets so many trolls, because he's a really outspoken against sort of the right and and Farage and Brexit and things like that, and he will put things up just so he can take on trolls. That's not my area of expertise. I absolutely detest getting into any kind of argument on the internet. I was talking about one last week that I'd got into, and that still plays in my mind. I'm still replaying that. He just takes it, he just swipes a load of trolls for ages and then goes off and enjoys the rest of his day.
That's the poisonous bit though, Jim, because that's it. That troll's not thought about that 10 minutes after he's had that altercation with you online, but because you're a decent guy that's just trying to use Twitter in the way it's actually designed to be used, it's made you like, I'm sensitive. I'm exactly the same with you. Like, I saw something online that's really helped me deal with anyone that gives you negative crap, and it was like, imagine it that if someone was standing and insulting you in a foreign language and you didn't understand that language, it wouldn't touch you, like, because they could be screaming their head off, calling you all the worst names in the world. But if you don't understand what they're saying to you, it just bounces off, right? And so just take their comments as that. Like, I just don't understand troll. Like it's and it like
and quite
engage.
Often from a literary point of view, I don't understand trolls.
Yes, so true. They don't use commas in the right place.
Loose Dads, a Dadsnet original podcast.